Ciao, today I'm cooking a Sicilian lamb with crispy potatoes and also a couple of side dishes. And I'm making a start by slicing the potatoes because they are the ones that are likely to hold me up. I'm cooking the potatoes on the hob and I've also sliced them fairly thinly, look, about half a centimeter in round pieces, but you can chop them in whatever shape you like. But this will take about 15 to 20 minutes to cook. So I'll just put them all in, and the oil obviously is still cold, and I'll place them on the hob. I'll wait until they start sizzling, and then I'll turn the temperature on to medium, and I'll place the lid on, and I'll leave them to cook for 10 minutes. Then I'll give it a little shake, another 5 minutes, and another little shake until they are nearly cooked, and I'll show you what to do towards the end. And here is my lamb. This is from the supermarket. It comes from New Zealand, and there are 4 little steaks. They measure about 1 centimeter in thickness, and they weigh 400 grams altogether, so approximately 100 grams per steak. Here my potatoes are merrily cooking away, and I've got a new pan over here, so I will add a little bit more olive oil. At the moment my temperature is on maximum, so I'll just distribute the oil evenly across the base of my pan, and I will very quickly sear all of my steaks. And the purpose is obviously to seal the steaks, but also I want some of the lamb juice into my pan. So approximately 1 minute per side, and then they will be able to just come out, see if they are done. And I'm going to use exactly the same container they came in, so that I do not have to mess another dish. And I'll start building my base. So clove of garlic, give it a gentle crush. Hopefully I didn't break the glass. No, I didn't. By the way, the pan is off at the moment. And I will be using very Sicilian ingredients. So some dried tomatoes, quantities to taste. I will use 3 capers. So I will be draining 1 heaped teaspoon, and I'll squeeze them. They are salted, and I'm quite happy that they can stay salted because I will not be adding any salt to this recipe at the moment. Olives next, and I keep mine under oil, so I'll go and dish a few, and you will notice that there are the odd sun-dried tomatoes in there. I'll try and avoid them actually because I've already got enough. So I'm going to be adding about 3 full the spoons and some oil alongside. Maybe 4 actually. It looks like it's not enough in there. Just a few chili flakes. These are baby plum tomatoes, so I've got a very generous handful. I'm cutting them in half so that they release some of the lovely juice. Of course you can use any type of tomato, salad tomato, cherry tomatoes, or if you like even tin tomatoes. So in they go. I was looking to pick a sprig of rosemary from the garden, and I ended up pulling half a tree, so I got a lot more than what I need, but a little sprig of rosemary goes in. And I'll turn the heat on. Now I'll go on maximum to start with until it starts sizzling. And it doesn't take very long, but I'll turn it down, otherwise you won't be able to hear me. I'll go on to medium, and I'll mix everything together, and there is a little bit of fat released from the lamb earlier still in the bottom of my pan, but I will immediately add half a glass of white wine. And I'll turn the heat up again on maximum, and the wine is beginning to boil already, so now that it's boiling I'll turn it down once again, up and down on medium, and I'll wait until the alcohol smells disappear, but the wine effectively is helping everything to cook together. In the meantime I'll show you how my potatoes are doing. A little bit noisy, but hopefully you'll be able to hear me. So they've been now sizzling for a good 10 minutes. And if they're too loud, I'll turn it down, and I'll just give them a little shake, and I'll put the lid back on, and they will cook considerably faster. I did not add any salt to my tomato base, but I will to my potatoes a little, and also some pepper, followed by a good shower of rosemary very finely chopped. And these are ready, and I'll turn them off, and they are, by the way, also an excellent side dish should you wish to cook them. And I'm back to the main meal, so I'm positioning the steaks on top of my tomatoes. I'll make sure that they do not touch the bottom of the pan, so they cook through the tomatoes. Potatoes are over here, so I will just pick them up, and I'll position everything on top of my lamb, and I will end up effectively covering the whole surface with potatoes. And they're all there, and I'll place the lid back on, and I'll leave it on minimum number 4 for about 15 minutes, enough for the lamb to finish cooking, but also for all of the ingredients to amalgamate. That will give me good time to get the other two sides ready. Same pan as before where I cooked the potatoes, no need to wash it. Some olive oil. Temperature is on maximum once again. I want the oil to get really hot before I add some sliced mushrooms. And I've managed to make them go everywhere, never mind. And just like I did with the potatoes, I'll place the lid on, although it doesn't fit very well, but it doesn't matter, and I will leave them until they start shrinking a little. After about 5 or 6 minutes, oops, see, the lid has gone down. The mushrooms have shrunk considerably, but there is still a lot of water, so I will now remove the lid and I'll wait until they are pretty much almost cooked and all of this water has gone. And if you take a good look, the bottom of my pan is bone dry, so I'll turn them off. New clove of garlic, but this time I'm going to be crushing using my little garlic crusher over here. There it goes. Do ensure that you've got no new heat underneath, just the heat from the mushrooms when you're doing this. This is parsley. Unfortunately, I finished my fresh parsley, so I'm using my frozen one, but that's okay. It's nearly as good as the fresh one, so a good handful. Followed by a renewed layer of olive oil. And of course some salt and pepper. And I'll mix this all together, and this is actually pretty much ready, but I'm not ready to obviously eat yet. So what I'll do, I'll move it into this little glass container, as I need the pan to do my peas next, and I'll carry on. The lid goes on and I'll keep it nice and warm. Side dish number 2, so a little bit more olive oil at the bottom of the pan. By the way, these side dishes, they're not all for tonight. Whenever I cook something like this, I make more than what I need, and then we eat them cold the following day. They're really nice. And just like I did with the mushrooms, I'll go ahead and I will add some peas. These are still frozen, by the way. See, they're coming straight from the freezer, and I'll just add enough for today and tomorrow. In the meantime, while the peas cook away, I'll remove the lid from my lamb, and can you see there is quite a bit of water and liquid in there, which is great, but I don't want it all, so I'll leave it now without the lid on so that some of the water evaporates. These are petit pois, by the way. They're a little bit smaller than normal peas. They're tender but also a little bit more flavorful, and they don't take a lot to cook, so I just turn them off after about 4 minutes. And as long as you keep the heat nice and high, they will cook really quickly. Here, instead of rosemary, I'm adding some mint, and again you'll have noticed that I'm adding additional ingredients after I turn it off. So again, a little salt and also some pepper. And just like I did with the mushrooms, I've got a little clove of garlic here, and it goes in when it's raw. And I'll go ahead and mix everything together to ensure that the garlic and the mint is absorbed. And like I just did with the mushrooms, I'll move them into another container. And the reason why I'm doing this, as well as keeping them warm, by the way, I'm going everywhere, also they will continue to marinate and amalgamate together. I really like that, because actually give me time, but also it gives me the opportunity to flavorize them a little bit more. So I'll go ahead and retrieve the runaway peas, and here is the top, and they are ready also. So all I need to do now is wait for the meat. And everything is ready. So here is my meat, and the last thing I'm going to do, and this is very optional of course, balsamic vinegar. I really like it, and I'll just drizzle a little on the top. Not a lot, enough to give it one last sweetish sort of flavor. And I'll leave the lid on, and I'll leave the balsamic vinegar to do its job for about a couple of minutes, and then I'll taste it. Someone has to do it, might just as well be me, so let's have a little piece of lamb. I'll pinch a potato also. Delicious. By the way, I did say I wasn't going to add any more salt to the lamb, but pepper, definitely, so I'll add it now. I just noticed it was missing. And here are my mushrooms. Delicious. I think you get the gist. Let's try the peas. Super delicious. Ciao, ciao. Thank you for watching. See you later. Bye.